Hey y'all. Hey. How y'all doing tonight? All right. So, how y'all doing tonight? All right. So, let's see here. See if we could set up a watch party. Hey. Let's see. Share. Okay. Hey y'all. Hey. All right. So I think I am on my feed. If you could hear me, let me know. Or if you see me on Facebook feed, let me know. Okay. All right, all clear. Hey guys. I'm gonna wait for y'all to come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'll plug this phone up so I could be nice and tuned, get some vibes. Get some vibes going. Now, hopefully, this thing does not block me. Facebook does not block me, okay? Because I know how it be sometimes on this Facebook. Hey y'all, hey. All right, so we are getting ready to get into the sauce. All right, so you see, I am trying to see how we do this. Like, how do we do this here? I gotta figure this out, okay? Got to figure this out. How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? I'm so happy. Let's see. Okay, tonight we're gonna really get into it. I got something good for you guys. I just gotta figure this thing out. Just gotta figure this out here. Make sure that we got everything copy. All right. It is like so windy outside, y'all. Like, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on with DC weather. But I am glad to see that it is now like cooler than this hot weather that was like coming out of here. Like, I was crazy. I'm like, oh, insane. Let's see. Yes. I'm trying to see, like, the analytics is like really bad, y'all. So just be patient with me as we work through this thing here. People are telling me that they can't see me on on my, let's see, they can't see me on my page. Why? Like, seriously. Okay. Alright, let's see if we could get this thing here. Because, okay, let's try that one more time. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if we could get this thing here. Yeah, because, okay, alright, so if y'all know how to do a watch party, y'all let me know, because this here is wild. Okay, like it should be, you should be able to do like a watch party. I don't even, you know, like this thing is just so wild. Okay, all right, so, all right, you guys could hear me, no echo, no nothing, we're good? Okay, all right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so I'm gonna get started through our conversation. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Behind the Scenes. We're gonna be talking about first date conversations. And so I'm excited to have you all here and joining in the conversation. And so if you could see me and audio is clear, make sure that you go ahead and like it and share it. The more people that like it, the more it shows up on the feed. There's people that are texting me saying that they can't see it. So that's why we had a little bit of a delay. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about red flags. Okay, I touched on this earlier today when, you know, I mentioned a bit about understanding kind of where you are in this journey, right? And kind of staying focused, making sure that you are paying attention, keeping your eyes open, right? Because we're looking for lifetime partners, y'all, okay? So we can't be making no decision lightly, right? Like, we need to make sure that we're paying attention to all the flags, all right? Do not overlook anything, okay? So some of the things that I have seen, and before I get into that, I want to just touch on some of the things that you should be paying attention to, right? Or you should be looking for. Because I think a lot of us, and me, myself included, when you say, okay, well, I'm looking for a quality man, right? But what does a quality man look like? Right? Like, you guys ever thought about that? Like, what does a quality man look like? How does he present himself to, and I'm just here trying to multitask. How does he present himself to the world? Right? Okay. So some of the things that I look for and I value as quality, right, are to make sure that, one, first and foremost, that he's able to cover me spiritually, right? Is he able to show up before the Lord and pray for you? Can he pray for you? Can he pray for himself, right? We want to make sure that first and foremost that we have that covered, like for me, that's important for me. And second, can he provide emotional support? Is he emotionally available, right? Is he able to provide that balance when you need that balance, right? How about his mental health, right? Where is he? Is he like suffering from like depression? And if so, is that being balanced, right? And balance as in, what is he doing to take care of that, right? You look for, again, his ability, as far as like his finances, right? But now I have to specify when I talk about finances, I'm not talking about like, oh, he has to be the breadwinner. I am talking about he has to be able to manage finances well, right? Because there's a difference. Like if you don't know how to handle your finances, right, then you're all be all over the place. You're gonna be in debt, right? And things are going to be really chaotic. So how does he handle his finances? All right, so you're looking at that. Get this thing off of here, Jesus. Looking at his finances, right? So those are some of the things that I look for when I look for a quality man, right? Now, some of the other things that are important is he kind, right? Does he have a good heart? Is he someone that is, like very selfish? Okay? Is he selfish? Is he only going to think about himself? Because that's important, right? How does he relate to his loved ones? Is he caring? Is he compassionate? Right? Because you're looking for a provider and protector. So those are things that are also really important. You're looking for, how does he handle conflict, right? Is he someone that is going to, just go on the attack, right? Like automatically go below the belt? Or is he someone that is like, let's talk through it, right? So those are things that I look for, right? Just because of my own desires. So I encourage everyone to take some time and make sure that you pay attention, right? And so today we're going to be talking about those red flags, right? Some of the red flags that I have seen, and y'all could share your stories with me as we go through this, is failure to make plans, right? So showing up like, I don't really like to make plans. I find that's a red flag, okay? Because again, you're looking for a provider and protector, right? You need someone that is going to take the lead, okay? You're looking for someone that has an ability to take the lead. So if he's like, I don't like to make plans, that goes, I don't know why I'm getting this little thing in my throat. That goes towards his leadership, right? Is he a leader, right? Excuse me, y'all. So is he a leader? Can you depend on him to take the lead and, manage your household? Lord, what is going on tonight? I got here. Y'all don't mind me. Am I crazy? All right. So is he able to take the lead? That is important, right? Because we want leaders, providers, protectors, right? You want someone to show up as the head of the household. He's going to need to take the lead. Okay? All right. So that's one. If you are in a on a date, right? And this person is showing up and all they talk about is their ex, red flag. And so I want y'all, so I'm gonna pause for a second. See all the red red lips, red, okay? Specifically, because we're talking about red flags today, all right? And so he's constantly talking about his ex. Red flag, okay? One or two things is going on. He hasn't really processed the issue, right? So there's some things that is left unsettled in that space, and not necessarily that he has feelings for this person, but it could be that, you know, he has not dealt with his emotions, right? That were kind of brought to the surface in all of that experience, right? So first, and so that's a red flag. Is he constantly talking about his ex? Failure. My next red flag is failure to take accountability. I'm going to repeat that one because that one is major. Failure to take accountability. There's two people in a relationship, okay? There's two people, all right? And I'm going to tell you right now, each person has a role in why that relationship didn't work. It's never one-sided. It's never one-sided, right? And so if you guys are talking about, and I always inquire, right? And that inquiry is totally different from a person just kind of like staying on that, oh, my ex was this, my ex was crazy, they were this, they were that. That's a whole different topic, right? This is a simple conversation about why do you believe your past relationship ended? Very simple question, right? And so they don't take accountability, right? They blame it was all the other person. It was all the other person. The other person did this. The other person did that. The other person did this. And something I always say to you guys, it starts and ends with you, right? Me. It starts and it ends with me, okay? Like, my marriage ended and I had to take accountability for my role in it, right? I had to stop and do an assessment. You know, I don't know why this thing is so I had to do an assessment, and y'all bear with me. I know I'm kind of like frozen and all this stuff. This is what I'm hearing. But it gets better. Okay. So I had to do an assessment and make sure and just go through it and say, what did I learn? How could I have been better? You know, what could I have done better to help this situation, right? To make this situation better, right? Or what's my role in it, right? Accountability is kind of what we're looking for. So it's what's my role in this? What role did I play in the demise of this relationship? Okay, because I could tell you right now, everyone has a role. Everyone plays a role. Okay, so if they're like, well, it was not me, it was all the other person. If they fail to take accountability, and it could be not even necessarily in that same space, right, of the relationship, but more so like they fail to take accountability with respects to issues that come up, right? So if you guys are dating, okay, and then all of a sudden the person is like, you know, like it's always, they're always the victim, right? Pay attention to that. If a situation always comes out so that they're always the victim, pay attention to that, because that might be a red flag. Now this is in the date if you are dating to find a spouse, right? So if you're dating with the intention of getting married, Okay? You're dating with the intention of getting married. This whole idea of why do we need a label is a red flag. Okay? Because you should be dating intentionally, right? Which means that you guys are arriving in the same place at the same time, right? Because that's how we know we are in alignment. We're at the same place at the same time, right? So if you are showing up and the person that you're dating is like, yeah, like, why do we need a label? Like, I don't need to tell you that we're together. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's a red flag. Pay attention to that. Okay? Because again, you're looking for a leader, right? You're looking for the head of your household. You're looking for a provider and protector. And if they're unable to clearly define you, right, define the terms of the relationship, right, that is a red flag, right? Which corporation do you know? Name one corporation that you go to that you see that is like, you go in and they don't have any, like, you don't know who's the CEO, you don't know who's the president, you don't know who's the vice president, right? You don't know who is the secretary, you don't know who's the clerk. Like, name one company that you go into that does not have labels, right? Everything has a label. Everything is defined for a reason, for clarity, right? And so with clarity and understanding, right, comes like movement, forward movement, because we both know what we're doing. We both know like where we're going, right? So pay attention to that. That's like a huge red flag for me, right? And that also shows a lack of maturity, right? So hopefully by the time you get to that conversation, you would have already have weed out this person, right? Okay, so moving on. Something that I hate is what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Right? So they're taking the onus off of themselves and they're putting it on you. Right? And I will tell you clearly, okay? Please, if someone sends you that message, right? Because that's a usual texter, right? That someone sends you that message, red flag, just go ahead and say, you know what? Just ignore it and move on, okay? All right, so you're in the relationship, right? And you're trotting along, okay? Now, is he pursuing you? Right? Is he actively trying to make time to get to know you? If he's not, that's a red flag. That's a huge red flag. If he is showing up in your life and not taking time out to get to know who you are and whether or not you're suitable for him, that is a red flag, okay? You need to move on, right? Now, no one's perfect, right? And I have to say that. No one's perfect, okay? So you may show up in a relationship where there's issues, right? A red flag is someone who is not willing to put forward the same amount of effort that you're putting forward, okay? So you're calling him, but he never calls you, all right? That is a red flag. You need to move on, okay? You're like always the one that is initiating contact, that's a red flag. Okay. You need to pay attention, and you may need to move on, right? Now, granted, because we date professionals, right? And so, if you're dating, I'm not talking about you're sitting at home, or, maybe your job has the flexibility and you can't get them on the phone 24/7, right? That's different, okay? We have to be mindful, right? Especially if you're dating professionals. Because I can tell you, sometimes I have the ability to sit on the phone all day, right? And then sometimes I don't, right? And so we have to be very mindful of that, right? About that person's schedule, right? So willing to work, or willing to put in the work as much as you are putting in, is not something, when you're looking at that, you're looking at if you guys are having like issues of conflict, right? Are you putting forward effort to kind of to talk it through, to better understand how you could make the resolution, right? Just match the effort, and if the effort is not there, then it's just time for you to go. Now, I want to talk about the next thing, about secrets, right? Listen, right? I was on TikTok, because I'll be scrolling, and this guy came on there because he wanted the young lady. He was asking Steve his opinion, because the young lady that he was dating did not want to post him on her social media. Okay? I strongly believe that we should date in private. Okay? We should not be posting anybody on your social media, unless you got a ring on your finger. Unless you're making a public declaration that that person is your chosen mate that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you don't need to post them on social media. Okay? This is a process, right, that requires, and it's not that you are being secretive about it, okay? Is that you're making a decision, and you haven't, until you made that decision that that person's going to be your husband, right? And he's made the same decision that you're going to be his wife. You don't need to make it public, because what's going to happen if it doesn't work out, right? It's like you're going to be out here like looking crazy. So let's keep our dating life to ourselves. Okay? Now, I want you to, because this is something that I have heard and I have seen it, and I had to arrive at this conclusion, right? Because you could say, okay, well, he doesn't want to post me on any of his social media. That means he must have other girls that are out there, or somebody must be out there that would get upset if he posts me on his social media. Okay. There are relationship flags, like he could flag that he's in a relationship or whatever, right? Whatever you're comfortable with, right? I have learned to keep it all in private, right? Because otherwise, it's like the decision is a lot. Now you gotta break up with. You gotta go through and delete all the pictures and untag him and all of that stuff. Like, you know what, girl, just don't do it. Okay, just don't do it. If you have a ring on your finger, then and only then, and I'm here. This is my right hand. Then and only then should you be posting him on your social media, right? But that has nothing to do with being private or secretive, okay? Red flag that you should pay attention to. You guys are dating, right? Like, so you're in the dating phase, you haven't reached the courtship phase, you're just kind of in the data collection phase. You've made a decision now that you like him, he likes you, you know? And so now you are going to move from the dating phase to the courtship phase where you're becoming exclusive, right? But you don't meet his parents. You haven't met his parents, right? And maybe his parents aren't alive, right? Have you met his intimate family members, right? So brothers, sisters, do they know who you are? If they don't, that is a red flag. Okay? That is a red flag. All right? You might need to just start asking some questions. Okay? Now, moving from there, close friends, right? Does his close friend know about you? Right? And something that I just kind of like throw this out because since we're talking about first dates, something that I like to do and I would encourage to do is to go on double dates. See how he interacts with his friends, right? You could learn a lot by just observing someone in the space relating to the people that know them best, right? If you go, you guys go to church together, right? Is he inviting you to his church? And you could go to someone's church and be in the courting phase. Let me just tell you, okay? And still keep it private, all right? Because you're not gonna be hopefully, you're not going to be up there like, smoochies and kisses and all of that stuff, right? Decorum, right? Keep your business to yourself, right? But yet you go to church so you can see how he interacts with his pastor, right? See how he interacts with the other brothers in the church, the other sisters in the church, right? And they know, right? Like they know that you're single. If they know he's single, they know that that he's going to be dating and this is a part of the process, right? So like they'll use their discretion as well, right? But if he's going, he has a home church and he's not inviting you to his church, and you guys are in the courtship phase, that's something to pay attention to, right? And so from there, I want you guys to think about those things, and let me know what you think, right? Let me know the red flags that you guys have experienced, and so let's share, girl. Let's build this catalog so I know what I need to look for. I think it's really important that we just pay attention, right? I am a strong advocate of like keeping all that bubbly feeling down, so that I could keep my logic, right? Because that's extremely important. And something else that I have learned through this process that I want to leave you guys with, right? That I find is very important as you are dating, okay? Please stay in the presence of God. I'm going to say that again. Stay in the presence of God. How do you do that? Make sure that you are reading your word. Make sure that you stay in prayer. Okay? Make sure you stay in prayer, because I'm going to tell you something. Your husband, you will find him, or he will find you in the presence of God. Think about that. Anything outside of the presence of God, right, will cause problems. So stay in the presence of God. Every night and every morning, I pray over my heart. I pray over my mind. I pray over my whole like dating process, right? I make sure I ask God for clarity. I make sure I ask God for direction, right? Show me his heart. Show me what I need to see. Okay? Show me what I need to see. And I'm going to tell you guys, he has always delivered. He has always delivered. And I'm going to tell you, ever more so than ever before, right? Single men and women, you need to stay in the presence of God, right? Because if they're come with their agenda, I'm going to tell you guys right now, right? It's not going to fly. It's not going to fly. And I am living proof. The stuff that I have uncovered simply because God opens up my eyes to see that, whoa, this is not something that you need in your life. This is not something that I have for you. Okay? And so I would just supplement you to stay in the presence of God. Make sure you're praying in the morning time, in the afternoon time, before you go on your dates, after you go on your dates. Stay petitioning God, because that is where your husband is going to find you, okay? In the presence of God, right? And that's going to give you that protection. Because I'm going to tell you guys, there's a lot of broken men out there. There's a lot of crazy people, period, out there, right? And you need to make sure that you're protected, right? You need to make sure you're protected on every single space. You are protected, okay? So that is all I have for the night. I thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you and all that you do. And so I will see you guys next week, Thursday. Next week, Thursday is going to be our episode 13. And so it should be really exciting. We are going to be talking about overcoming anxiety and preparing your heart for love. That's going to be so good. I know that I read this article that says, a lot of Black women show up. They are show up as anxious, and I'm not sure why that is, right? But I do want us to heal, and I do want us to be able to grow and find love from that space of being healed. Because I'm going to tell you, and I've said this before, we cannot see the mess in someone if we got our own mess going on, right? So stay in the presence of God. Make sure you clean up your mess, right? Make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you could see the crap. You could see the red flags when they come up. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next week, Thursday at 7 o'clock.